you know, I'm the one fighting for my life. You've already read the title for this video. You know what this video is about, so I'm just gonna get straight into it. I'm not gonna waste no time. But I do suggest you grab a cup of tea for yourself, because my tea is hot. So as you've read from the title of this video, I'm gonna be talking about the time that I got my wig dragged off at work by a patient. So basically, this is like back in like 2020 when I first started working in mental health as a support worker, and how I got in was through an agency, and there's like all these different healthcare agencies that like recruit support workers, registered mental health nurses, and things like that, along with like doctors, psychologists, and you know, a range of there's an agency for everything. So I joined one of these agencies, and in the training, okay, because you know, you have to be trained for all these things, do a whole bunch of online modules to like prepare you for the work that you do, and we also have physical training. And back then that was called PMVA, which stood for preventative
be nice, I'm finding it.
Preventative management of violence and aggression. You learn how to de-escalate situations, you know, when someone's like angry, or someone's, you know, self-harming, or if someone attacks you or attacks someone else. And you learn like how to physically restrain and things like that. In that training, I vividly remember the trainer at the time saying that some people like to pull hair. I made sure to make a mental note of that. So I decided to wear wigs to work instead of having my hair out, keeping in mind she said that some people like to pull hair. So about like 5-6 months go by of working in this job, working in rehab for women with mental health, personality disorders, and things like that. And in all those 6 months of working there initially, I hadn't actually seen or been involved myself in an incident. Like anything to do with aggression, violence, self-harm, things like that. It was more so just verbally supporting people to do their hair, you know, their personal care, things like that. The most I was exposed to really was blatant racism by one of the patients. Me and them turned out to be, you know, really have a really good rapport. And when I say this woman was aggressively racist, raging racist, mind you, she did have a learning disability, but that doesn't excuse the raging racism that left this woman. Like the things that she said when it came to black people. And then when we became friends, I started to think like, am I even black? Like, every time I saw her, I'd be like, oh, hey, how you doing? Give me a fist bump. Mind you, she's whiter than paper, bro. And I'm looking and I'm thinking, when is she gonna realize that we are not the same color? But I digress. Mind you, the time I started working, 2020, height of COVID, right? COVID was still going around, we were still being precautious and everything like that. So what we had done was, when we had a patient who had caught COVID, we'd isolate them in part of the ward. So how the hospital worked was, we've got 3-bedroom corridors. So we would isolate one of those corridors as like the COVID part of the ward, where we'd like isolate them and we can treat them separate from all the other patients. So this particular patient, bless her, we actually had a really good rapport, but she became unwell. And when she was unwell, okay, so she had COVID, or I think we suspected that she had COVID at the time, so we just decided to isolate her just to be safe. And it was like probably a couple days isolation, like about a week, I'd say, of isolation. And she also had learning disability, so you know, we'd go down there to check on her, and she would ask, can I leave now? So we'd always have to be like, no, just give it a few days, you're gonna be out soon, it's all gonna be okay, you're gonna be fine, we just need to isolate you for a couple of days and then you can come out and be with the rest of the patients. So on this one particular day, right, she is in the isolation part of the ward, and I'm doing my check where you check people regularly who don't need to have someone with them all the time. I was doing those, right? And obviously she's one of those checks. So I go down to the corridor and I check on her, and I'm, you know, asking, you know, are you okay? Do you need anything? Do you need a drink? Do you need like any snacks or anything? Like, are you all good? And she was getting really anxious. And she was like, can I leave now? And I was like, not right now, but you'll be out in a couple of days, just a few more days, and then you can come out. So I go to write down my observations. A few minutes later, I'm back out there again, doing my checks on everyone, go down to that corridor to go check on her. And she's like, can I leave now? I really want to leave. I don't like being here by myself. And I'm like, I know you don't, but it's just a few more days and you'll be out and can be with the rest of the patients on the ward. We just have to isolate you because of the COVID. And then I leave. I go back down there after a few more minutes and I check on her again. And she stands up out of her bed and she's like,
I really need to get out of here. I really need to leave. I don't like being in here. I really need to go.
And before I can even say any sort of reassurance, she's walking towards me with purpose. And I'm a little baby HCA with all my 19 years of life behind me. I've never dealt with any sort of situation like this before. So I back up, obviously, because you're looking at me with something in your eyes. Yeah, walking to me with purpose. You think I'm gonna stand there I mean, now I'm different, but you know, but little baby HCA day, oh no. So I back up, right? I back up out of that corridor, and basically we have like those double doors that shut to obviously separate the wards. So I back up out them double doors. She follows me through them double doors. As I've backed up and she's come out, one of my colleagues, I'm so sorry, one of my colleagues has really, really nice, lovely, vibrant red hair. Vibrant red, long hair, right? And on that day, her hair was up in a ponytail. Good for her. Okay? And this patient, right, before my colleague even has a chance to know what's going on, right, this patient just turns, grabs her hair, grabs the whole ponytail, and she's holding on. Like, she's holding on tight. She's like, this is mine now. I'm taking it with me, whether you like it or not. I'm taking it by force. I'm just there like... Then the training comes in, right? Yeah, the training that I needed, okay, to start this job. Now it comes in. Another colleague comes to respond. So me and him get into a restraint, right? A physical restraint, so that we can help the colleague that's literally like fighting for her life to undo the patient's hands in her ponytail. And so once she's freed, we bring the patient back into the corridor. We release the holds, right? Next thing you know, I'm the one fighting for my life, right? I didn't even know what was going on. We bring her out into the corridor, we let her go. She turns towards me. Next thing you know,
hand on my wig, and I'm like this with her, like I'm a flipping yo-yo.
This girl's got her hand on my, and I'm thinking to myself, why am I fighting with you for this hair that's not mine? Like, it's not even mine. It doesn't even belong to me. It doesn't grow out of my scalp, babe. You can have it. You literally can have it. So I let go of her grip and she dragged the wig off my head. She drags the wig off of my head. All the wig cap gone too. And then she's looking at the wig cap and she's looking at the wig with the wig cap in it, and me and my braids underneath her like, hello. She's looking at the wig and she looks at me and she looks back at the wig and looks back at me and hands it back. She hands me back my wig, bro. And then goes into her room and she starts laughing and goes back into her room. And that's all she needed, was a good laugh. Good laugh and a good chunk of hair. But yeah, that's the end of my story time for today. If you'd like any more story times from my time working in healthcare, babe, I've got almost 5 years worth. I've got 5 years worth of incidents and trauma behind me, okay? So if you want any more, let me know. Yeah, because I'm not running out of them. And you man know, man's just been sacked and that, bruv. So man's got nothing to lose, fam. So man's got no job to lose, bruv. They already took it away from me, bruv. But yeah, that's the end of my story time. I hope you guys enjoyed. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.